Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. Here's another great upcycle. I saw this shirt from Anthropologie and thought I could make this for a lot cheaper than $98, and was lucky enough to find some fabric with butterflies on it. Love the way it turned out, and let's get started. All right, so I have this sweatshirt. I think I originally got it at Walmart like end of the year last year. I've had it for a little while. Kind of that beige, heathered beige color, which I think will be fine. And then I happened to find this sheer fabric at Joann. I'm gonna do butterflies like the inspiration, but if butterflies aren't your thing, you can definitely do flowers, cats, you know, dogs, musical instruments, whatever you want. But I thought this would be perfect. So you can definitely make this no-sew by, you know, cutting out the butterflies and then using a glue like fabric tack, any kind of a washable glue, and gluing them on. But because I'm a sewist and I sew, I'm going to be sewing them on. So what I'm going to do, the really cool thing about this fabric is it has multiple butterflies. So it's got this biggest one here, then it's got like a medium-sized one here, it's got a tiny one here, and then this kind of pinkish one there. It has two different sizes of this one and that one. So I'm going to start by cutting out one of each. And I got 3/4 of a yard of this fabric. I think I got it on sale, so I think, I don't know, it was about $10 or something a yard, so what, maybe $8 for this piece. If I can find it online, I'll link it in the description box. But and you don't have to do this with sheer fabric. You can use a cotton or satin or whatever. So I'm going to start by very carefully cutting out these butterflies, and I'm probably going to cut them out just past the line, maybe 1/8 of an inch past the like the outside edge. And then I will work on placement and see kind of how, I'll look at the inspiration photos, see how they have their butterflies laid out, and then kind of lay this out and see how I like it. So I'm just going to use a pair of fabric scissors, and again, just cut out one of each, about 1/8 of an inch outside the line all the way around. All right, so I've got them cut out here, and I think I'm going to put this big one right here on the front, kind of like the inspiration photo. And then I'll do one kind of on the shoulder, and then kind of tuck it over behind, so it kind of goes on the back too. And then these other 3, I think I'm just going to do on the back. Now, I could just pin all this on because I'm going to sew around the edge. I could pin it all on, but because it's a sheer fabric, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this spray adhesive. You can get this, I think they even have it in the fabric department on Walmart. It comes in different brands. Some of it's like Heat and Bond brand. There's a Dritz, but it's a spray adhesive, but you want it temporary. I use this in quilting a lot. So when you wash it, it will come out. You don't want a permanent one, you want a temporary one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go outside in a well-ventilated area and do a light spray on the back. And because this is sheer, I'm going to be very careful to make sure I know which is the back and which is the front, which on this I probably won't be able to tell that much. But I'll spray it on and then lay it on the fabric and press it down, and that's going to give it a really good hold for when I sew around it. Now I could also get creative and do like stitching, like maybe around the body, some of the lines on the wings, and because this is it's not really a sweatshirt, this is more like a French terry type fabric, it would give it almost a quilted look. So I may do something like that, I don't know, but I am going to go around the edge with a small zigzag stitch. I'm going to use this background color and just do a very tiny zigzag stitch all the way around, and then I can trim off the extra fabric. But I'm going to go and spray everything with the spray adhesive first so it lays nice and flat, and I won't have to use any pins, and I won't have to worry about it shifting. So this stuff is amazing. It's a little pricey, but it lasts a long time. So if you haven't given this a try to do something like this, I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so I've got them on the front, and then I did the back as well, and I kind of did them towards the top and left some room at the bottom. I may end up cropping this shirt, so I didn't put them too close to the bottom. But then I've got my front, the one over the shoulder, and then I have some matching thread, and I may just do a straight stitch. In fact, I think I will. Instead of a zigzag, I think I'm just going to do a straight stitch on the outside, do kind of a smaller stitch, and then just run it all the way around the outside of each of these. When I get here, I think I'm going to just come down, follow the line, you know, and then go around each of the little antenna. So really, I mean, the thing on this, if you don't want to sew it and you want to glue it, you know, you could do the permanent spray glue as long as it's for fabric, or just use like the fabric glue, go around the edge of it all, press it down, and you're done. You could, if you wanted to do some embroidery, you could do you know, embroidery stitches around the edge or something like that. So really, the most time-consuming thing is just if you decide you want to sew around it, and then to sew around the edges. And really, I'm doing that because, one, I used the temporary adhesive, so once I wash it, this is going to peel off. It's going to come right off. And number two, this fabric will fray. It's just like an organza type base, so it will fray. So I just want to stitch around it to keep it from doing that. So I'm just going to get to work stitching around it, just taking my time, and once it's stitched, then we're done. And I'm done. So I went ahead, sewed around. You can see my little stitching there. Just sewed around. I used an 80-12 needle, and I just did like, I think it was a 2.5 stitch length. Just sewed around all of the butterflies there on the front and then on the back. And then I've actually decided I'm not going to trim the fabric around the edge. Most of them I did it pretty close to it anyway, so I'm just going to leave it. Now when I wash it and stuff like that, I may have to, you know, there may be some extra threads and stuff I can cut away. If you do want to trim around the edge, you can use a really small pair of scissors like this, and it'll peel up really easily if you use that spray adhesive. And you can just trim around the edge. Just be careful you don't cut your shirt. If you have applique scissors like this, they also work for something like that. These can be pretty pricey. I think I have them. I forget, these may have been my grandmother's because they're Ginger brand, which is even more expensive. So these may have been my grandmother, but applique scissors are made for things like this because they get up under and you can cut. But small pair of scissors works just the same. Just be careful as you go. But yeah, love the way it turned out. And let's see it on. As I said, I love the way this turns out. I've worn it several times. When I wash it, I do wash it inside out. But I hope this gives y'all some great ideas, and happy sewing.